everyone, it's Justine. Today I'm going to be making 2 cards using this die set. There's quite a lot of dies, and it's the Outlined Christmas Sentiments, which is the small die of the month for October. I have wishes, holiday, joyous, enclosed, warm, hugs, cheerful, merry, cheers, and Christmas. So these you can mix and match to make different sentiments. And there's some little greenery flowers on the bottom, leaves, flowers, a poinsettia die, and some centers. So I'll just take my Spellbinders magnet and just clean those up real quick. So I have those out of the way so I can make my card. That is so satisfying. I love doing that. Anyway, I'm going to make my first card with traditional Christmas colors of green and red. Now I used gold, green, and red mirrored cardstock to make this card. And if you know some of my designs, I love gold mirrored cardstock. And when they released red and green, I think it was last month in September, I was really excited. So I went ahead and used all 3 colors. I guess I did not use the silver mirrored cardstock, but if they ever come out with all the other colors, I will make a rainbow card with all of them, and you might need sunglasses because it's going to be shiny. Anyway, I used the mirrored cardstocks for my sentiment because I wanted that to be kind of the star of the show, and I went ahead and made the green background with the outline die, and then the gold sentiments themselves, I used just the word dies. So you can see a kind of a close-up look that is super shiny, and I love it. Now I have this little panel, and I'm going to line my sentiments up on here and then glue them right onto the panel. So speaking of glue, you might see this glue bottle and say, what are you using? I thought you used Bearly Art glue. Well, I am. It's just in this tiny little bottle here. I had cleaned out my crafting area because it had just gotten really out of hand, and I got this little bottle with that really fine tip there. I got this in I think it was a Simon Says stamp card kit from 2021, and I never filled it up with anything, and I have a lot of Bearly Art glue. I have the main bottle, and then I have 2 refills right now, and I thought, well, why not just put some glue in it? So I did, and I really like that it's easy to squeeze out, and it's a bit more petite than the Bearly Art big tall bottle. So I've been using it a lot, and I don't have to fuss with a needle going in it because it has this little like rubbery lid that goes on it. So I guess the only thing I don't like about this little bottle is that the lid kind of springs out around. So I've just kind of used a little bit of craft tape to glue it down when I am not using it. But in general, I think it's a pretty nice little glue bottle. But it still has the Bearly Art inside it. So the product that I'm using is still the same. Now with the poinsettias, I have 6 on my card, and when I was coming up with my design for this card, I wasn't quite sure about using 6 because I don't typically use, here I am taping that little tail down, but I don't typically use even numbers on my cards. There's like that rule of 3 or the odd number rule that a lot of people use in art and photography, and I generally go by that rule. But because of the size of the flowers, it really just made sense to put 3 on the bottom and 3 on top for this design that I was making. So I'm going to have 3 poinsettias with the light red on top and 3 with the dark red on top. So I'm just going to put a little glue, put the top on, put a little glue in the center, and then use my centers and glue the centers right on. In the centers, I used the gold mirrored cardstock. So I'll just fast forward to when I am finished with those flowers. Now that those are all set, I can go ahead and put on my panel to my card. Now that it has had a chance to dry it's all set. Now, when I'm putting my panel on, I wasn't sure if I was going to make my card portrait or landscape, but I decided that making it portrait just kind of made sense with the size of my panel. So I'm just going to use some double-sided tape to stick it right on to my card. It's quite sticky, so have to be careful. Isn't that just so pretty? Oh, that cardstock really makes anything just pop. Anyway, all right. Now that that is all set, I will just glue on my poinsettias. I'm going to have kind of an offset. I'll have light, dark, and then on the bottom, dark, light, light, dark. I'm a kindergarten teacher and I've been doing patterns with the kids, so yeah, I have patterns on the brain. Maybe that's subconsciously how I decided to design this card. Who knows? Anyway, I'm just going to glue those on with just a little bit of glue. Now, when I'm gluing these on, I will just pop on my double-sided tweezers and just stick them right on. This isn't typically how I glue. I usually glue on the smallest item and then put it down. But since I wanted the flowers to line up from top to bottom, I put the glue on the card first and then I put the flowers on. And as I was putting them on, I tried to be mindful to not have the flowers all going the same direction or having the top point of the flower pointing up in every single one, just to kind of have it be a little bit of a more organic look. And there is my finished card. I love it. And oh, it is not finished. I'm so sorry. I have to add Wink of Stella. If you don't know about Wink of Stella, it's just a beautiful shimmery glitter pen. It dries clear. The one I'm using is clear glitter. So it dries clear and it just leaves a really pretty look to the cardstock. Here's what it looks like when it's done. I think it is a beautiful yet simple Christmas design, and really you could use this simple design for any other card. You could just replace the flowers with something a bit more all occasion, so you could just have regular flowers instead of poinsettias and change that sentiment, and you can make a different style card with the same design. Now, my next Christmas card here that I am making with this die set, again, it's the Outlined Christmas Sentiments, is a black, white, and gold Christmas card. Now, I love playing with color. I think as like a card maker, an artist, whatever you want to say, I like colors. I look at things and I wonder, does that go well with this? And just kind of have color on my brain quite often. So I'm noticing black and white and gold are pretty popular in the design world for like homes, and I saw a Christmas tree last year that was all white, gold, and black themed. Is it traditional? No. Is it interesting to look at? Sure. And I just wanted to try making a Christmas card with black, gold, and white. It might be, not your cup of tea, or maybe you're not a Christmas person, but you could replace the sentiments and colors to make it work for your style and needs. So I will just kind of go a little bit quicker through this card, since I have talked quite a bit in the beginning about the red and green one, but basically I'm just assembling these flowers just as a simple one piece. I'm not going to double up on the little flowers. The poinsettias will be 2 gold pieces and then the black dot in the center. So I am now adhering on my sentiments. I worked from the top down. When I glue on sentiments, I just want to be mindful about trying to make things straight, or purposely make them wonky, which is kind of crooked on purpose. Depends on the look that I'm going for. This time I went for kind of a straight look and had the flowers and leaves kind of scatter throughout the card. I love using my reverse tweezers to kind of get the right look. Sometimes my hands kind of get in the way and I can't quite see the vision that I have in my head to translate onto the card. So just having the extra 2.5 inches of mobility with the tweezers is really helpful for me. The one I use is EK Tools, I think, and I noticed that that was for sale at Hobby Lobby. So if you have a Hobby Lobby, you can get them there. They're probably sold at most craft stores and probably on Amazon as well. So for my flowers, I'm using some foam squares and just popping them up on this card for dimension. Now, when this card was finished and I was taking pictures for the cover for this YouTube video and pictures for the Spellbinders blog that I send in, I noticed that some of the gold flowers popped up just from me moving them, and they looked so beautiful in that 3D look. So if I were to give this card to someone or sell it on my Etsy shop or whatnot, I would maybe just tell the sender or tell the recipient of the card to maybe not use an envelope, because those flowers look really beautiful when the petals are like encouraged to go up. So they look kind of like a bowl, if that makes any sense. I don't know, but they look gorgeous when they are kind of fluffed up a bit. So just using the glue in the center would help give you that look if you're looking for something like that. Now for the leaves for my poinsettias, I'm just going to use a little bit of glue and tuck those underneath those popped up poinsettia flowers, and that will finish off this card. So if you've liked either card, let me know in the comments which one you liked better. Did you like the traditional red and green, or did you like the little more modern look with black and white and gold? Let me know. Anyway, if you have any questions at all about any of the products I used or designs or just crafting tools, literally anything, let me know in the comments and I'd love to help. Thank you again for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!